I get a phone call this morning after I sent this man a message. Somebody told me that I needed to talk to this guy. He calls me up this morning. We get to talking. We realize that, you know what? We're two true blue patriots for this country. And rocking the red, white, and blue. And, well, one thing leads to another. He says, let's get together. When can we get together? I said, I'm free today. He said, well, come on down. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let me let you say hello to Mr. Mark Connors. That's right. That's right. The Nashville's Patriot Cowboy.
Wow. How you guys doing? Check it out. Isn't she beautiful? Isn't she just gorgeous?
He does this every day. He gets out here every day. There's, what did you say, 5,000 cars or somebody?
Yeah, I come out here onto this corner here, pretty close to the ranch, and about 5,000 cars come by here every day.
So those that don't know Mark had the honor of playing at President Trump's inauguration.
And meeting all the Antifa. Try not to show anything over there.
Okay. We're just pointed at the ground for now. How about that? Isn't this a lovely lawn?
Actually, we're trying not to show you my tour bus yet. We're trying not to show you my tour bus yet. We're trying not to show you my tour bus yet. This is our studio. And we've got studios upstairs, and we've got studios downstairs.
Oh, wow.
And then we have the house is not too far away from us here. But come on in.
Wow.
This is our little baby here.
Check it out. You got to check this out, guys. Hang on. America's Bikers for Trump Freedom Coffee.
Damn right. Deplorable coffee.
Deplorable coffee. Oh, man. Oh, is this cool or what?
And then we have also over there the Trump Train coffee, which that bag is yours to do.
All right. Connor's Trump Train Deplorable Coffee.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I will be enjoying some of this after dinner tonight. Real talk about a real con man. There he is. That's a very old picture of him, as you may know. Why the angry faces? Well, because there's probably some Mark Connors fans in here. There's probably some Mark Connors, some people who think that Mark Connors is who he says he is, that he's some big country music star, that at some point it made it so big that he made the back cover of Country Magazine, and he's been in People Magazine this many times. Of course, he never does turn open the magazine and let you read the article about him, does he? No, because it's simply an ad, probably advertising his big rockin' album. Now, let's talk about this album just a little bit, okay? This album was done, this is his latest album. He gave me 2 copies. One of them still I haven't even taken the wrapper off of it. Never heard of him. No, Jim, you haven't. I've been listening to country music since I was a teenager. And I've never heard of Mark the Con Man Connors. All right? Until he reached out to me via one of my contacts in this Patriot movement. Oh, man. Yeah, I want to be a part of what you're doing.
Yeah, I wonder if that was maybe Clovis or Eric that reached out for, maybe even Tacos. I mean, who knows, you know? Could have been Tacos, Eric, Clovis, Lady Scorpio, maybe even Scotty Kukerate himself that was reaching out. Hey, you got to meet up with this Connors guy. Oh, wait a minute. His name is Cruz. You got to call him Cruz. That way people don't find him on the internet, right? Okay. All right, here we go.
Yeah, and then we found out just what kind of operation he does. This thing, man, this guy, songs written and composed. Man, he had hit songwriters on this album. Hit songwriters on this album, okay? People who have verified hits. Wrote songs for Garth Brooks. Wrote some songs on here, okay? Had a producer, award-winning producer on this album, okay? But yet, you know, and with an award-winning producer and award-winning songwriters, well, you would think that out of 12 songs, at least one of them would have made it to the top 10. Well, okay, maybe not the top 10. How about the top 40? All right, maybe not the top 40. The top 100? No. Mark, you don't even have a top 100 song in the history of your hit career. You're a joke. You've always been a joke. You've always been a con man. You've talked about how you came up in the foster care system. You know what? Everybody I've ever known that came up through the foster care system the way you described it, that's exactly what they did. They're just hustlers. You've always been a hustler. Talking shit about what you're capable of, what you can do, what you're going to do for somebody else while you milk their cow. That's what you've always been about. Why don't you have any top 100 songs on your 2010 album, Mark? Why haven't any? Let's compare you to maybe another country music artist of the same era, okay? Let's talk about one that's maybe not such a superstar, because we all know you were never a superstar.
My opinion, to put Preds on blast, you either got a high level Pred or a highly exposed Pred, right? Big name. You're not going to starve him out in CONman, right? You're not going to starve them out by not putting them on blast. Their name that's already out there in the algorithms. A low-level CONman like the Rodent, you want to starve them out of oxygen, basically, so people don't even know he's there. Because he's just low-level anyway. He doesn't really have a name for himself. He's got to either use somebody else's name to try to get that name worked on. But a high level, I can't, the word's not coming to my head, right? Let's say there's more exposure of a bigger name. You want to keep pressure on that bigger name. The low level con artist, con man, you want to starve them out in oxygen. Some people have their logic backwards where they're trying to suppress Connors, somebody that's worked with them in the past, trying to suppress that name, Connors, by calling him Cruz. That way you don't find him in the search algorithms. But they want the low-level con man there to be found instead of starving them out. Interesting, the flip of logic going on. And we're going to be narrating some more here in a few minutes when this guy gets into the Connors and Santilli debacle. Another good fight that would have been great to film. Connors versus Santilli in the ring? Here we go.
You sang in a few bars. You're a club player at best. That's all you've ever been. And everything that you've tried to present yourself to be is a fucking lie, Mark Connors. You're a con man. You try to con people into thinking that you're this great big country. Well, let's, you know what? You go live just about every night, it seems. And it seems like you like to talk about me a lot. Why is that, Mark? Why is it you like to talk about me so much? Is it because I'm so much more fucking interesting than you are? Probably, because you can't carry an audience. let's say that Clint Black, there's one, Clint Black. Y'all heard of Clint Black, right? Yeah, this is the fake asshole, Debbie Day, that we're talking about. You guys have heard of Clint Black, yeah? Clint Black had a country music career that was successful, but was about as long as my pecker. All right? He didn't last long as a main figure in country music. But if Clint Black did a live broadcast unannounced, if he did a live broadcast unannounced on Facebook tonight, how many viewers do you think he would draw? I guarantee you, he'd draw a lot more than Mark the CONman Connors does. He's been talking shit about me all week long, but he doesn't understand where I got my training. Mark Connors, your album, It's All About the Country, I listened to your album. That one, you remember the night that I broke your CD on the live video? You can go back and watch it if you missed it. You remember that night, Mark? I broke your CD because I'd already had it. Remember, I pulled it out of the tray, out of the computer tray, because I had listened to the music. And I went through about 8 or 9 of your songs out of the 12 that are on here, and every one of them sounded like a fucking joke. I mean, seriously. It's no wonder. There's only one reason you don't have top 100 songs when you've got hit songwriters and hit producers. And that's because you've got a singer that ain't worth the fucking powder it would take to blow up his guitar. Anybody ever heard of this guy? But here's the thing. I said this is about Mark the CONman Connors and friends. Mark is pissed off because Mark fucked Pete Santilli, along with another guy out in California. And he was trying to set AWR up for the same kind of deal, where he wanted to ride our coattails and build himself a YouTube income off of the work and the sweat and the miles that Ace Baker, Billy Sessions, James Del Brock, myself, and many others, Francis Marion. There's a lot of names I could name, but I don't want to give this piece of shit too much ammunition. Let me tell you something, buddy. I'm an expert at talking shit, only my shit's real talk, buddy. Real talk. You want to kick bells? We'll talk about kicking bells in just a minute. We'll get to that part, pal. I know you're watching. I know you're watching. And it just tickles me. You know, your haters make you famous. I ain't even trying to be famous. I don't give a shit about being famous, but apparently it's real important to you, Mark. Well, let me just tell you how stupid you are. Let me tell you how stupid you are. Not only did you have an opportunity, and it probably wouldn't have been one that would have worked out anyway because you can't sing to save your life. Oh, my God. Guys, I would play this for you, and I'm saving this one because I'm going to share it with Billy Sessions. I'm going to share it with Ace, and I'm going to see just how long it takes them to push the eject button. Dang. Here's your problem, DS. Here's your problem. You've bought into the Mark CONman Connors bullshit scheme. You're all starstruck thinking you've got a personal connection to a country music star. He's a country music fucking flop. He's a country music failure. He's a country music con man. That back cover, he finally admitted that it was advertising, only after I called him out on it. Oh. Yeah, it was advertising. I wonder who he ripped off for the $80,000 he claimed that was paid for that ad. Why don't you open up that People magazine, Mark the CONman Connors, and show everybody the article that isn't in there about you? Or instead just show them the ad representing your
real quick
killer album with no top 100 songs on it. You're a fake. You're a phony. You're a rip-off artist. You've been doing it all your life, Mark. You know it, And everybody that's ever had any real contact with you knows it too. Now, here's the problem with that for you, Mark. After you bullshit enough people, after you rip off enough people, and your reputation begins to precede you, well, you're going to have to work on a new CONman. Guy is all about trying to make himself famous. That's what he's been trying to do for a long time, and it hasn't worked. He can't do it with his singing career. So what does he do? He fakes his way into people's efforts. Pete Santilli was doing a good job out there in Oregon. Pete Santilli was being a patriot. And this piece of shit took advantage of Pete Santilli, made thousands and thousands of dollars off of Pete Santilli's work, while Santilli now sits in a prison cell for that work, having never held anything in his hand other than a camera, his phone, or his iPad. He never had a gun.
Oh, wait a minute.
In his hand. But he's been sitting, yes.
Hold on.
Santilli's work, while Santilli now sits in a prison cell for that work, having never held anything in his hand other than a camera, his phone, or his iPad. He never had a gun in his hand, but he's been sitting,
Whoa. Well, I heard a weapon being, with a cartridge being injected into the chamber. Okay. I heard that, and I think even Deb Jordan heard that and said, whoa. Right before Pete Santilli bullhorns the FBI the Declaration of Independence at the Burns Airport at the 2016 standoff at the NWR, really. So, unfortunately, okay, not really going to call this guy a mouthpiece, but sometimes guys like this that can't do all of their research and homework are going to yell the loudest, but they're convinced, and because they want to be patriots, right? This guy wants to be a patriot. He probably is kicking ass, right? Going out there to figure out that Mark Connors, right? Oh my gosh, what a flop, right? After, getting in close with him, he calls him in, right? Gets to know him a little bit, gives him a tour. Now he's got a new super fan, right? But then all of a sudden he's got to go away because he's going to figure out the LARP between Pete Santilli and Mark Connors. He didn't want to figure him out, that Connors didn't want this guy figuring out that Connors and Santilli were play fighting. They're part of the same team, in my opinion, to cause what? Division. Not only did that play fight LARP kind of fizzle out, right, into nothing, but look at the Eric Shillkerson versus Scotty Kukerate fight that's supposed to happen. I equate that also to another little division piece back with the OJM Dr. Renee, whatever happened there, big fight, right? Divide. Then I go to another with the Cop Watchers, High Desert Community Watch, Ida Foxy Queen. Whether true or not, they get together. My opinion, they get together, become boyfriend and girlfriend. Two popular Cop Watchers, almost 500,000 between them combined now, watching. And they have a big fight, drop out, not boyfriend and girlfriend anymore, and divide 500,000 down the middle. Now, this guy might not know what he's really rooting for, but that's what they need. Pick a fight with this guy, suck him in, he'll talk really loud about you, which helps promote. He doesn't care. And maybe dry up some lawsuits. But sometimes, these guys are such narcopaths like Connors and some of these others that got a play fight. Interesting, Clovis was with Connors at one time. Same with Eric Shillkerson. Same with Scotty Kukerate, worked with him. But the big play fight LARP, I guess, that's the way it looks between Monograph and Clovis to lay the tracks so Monograph can reel in a big fish like Rakita to sue him. Oh, wow. That's all in my opinion. That's the way it looks to me, man. Sorry if I heard any fee-fees.
Yeah. Somebody says, "Are you live?" Oh my gosh, and I'm answering them on here. Pete Santilli.
Let's go back.
Santilli's work, while Santilli now sits in a prison cell for that work, having never held anything in his hand other than a camera, his phone, or his iPad. He never had a gun in his hand, but he's been sitting. Yes, I'm live. Yeah. Somebody says, "Are you live?" Oh my gosh, and I'm answering them on here. Pete Santilli is now sitting in a prison for the work that he did and sharing with the world through live videos what was happening out there at that refuge, that nature refuge, and I've never been able to pronounce the name of it. I'm sorry.
I believe that they infiltrated this group because they were getting such big traction with the Moore, mother of all rallies. They had to infiltrate them, create division, and but I think they saw through it and booted Connors just in enough time that they didn't screw up some big rallies. Which also, I mean, anybody like the Moore group, MOAR, mother of all rallies. That group, I mean, it's just like J6, maybe a beta test to see who's going to show up. That's the problem. So, anyways, that's why I say we really haven't had a good movement since, like, MLK and Rosa Parks, which, I mean, some people think the MLK movement was even, fabricated or, coerced or something to once again divide a big movement to take out a leader. But hey, I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just shutting up now.
Santilli is now, and listen to Mark Connors. Whenever he mentions Santilli's name, he's talking shit about him. What a piece of shit you are, Mark Connors. You're a piece of low-life shit. You made thousands of dollars off that man's patriot work, and now you stab him in the back. Now let's talk a little bit about your fucking bell ringing.
That's a great controlled op right there to get people talking and promoting you, showing your album, and using this guy as a pawn. But he's a big mouthpiece from his movement.
I hear you keep inviting me to the dojo. You want to step into the ring with a 50-year-old congestive heart failure patient. That's what you want to do. Well, let me tell you something. My doctor, my cardiologist has been telling me the last couple of years that my heart is doing something that it could never do. It's miraculously getting stronger. I was almost dead in 2012. Ejection fraction of 10%. Look it up if you don't know what an ejection fraction is. In January of 2013, my cardiologist looked me in the eye and said, "We can't figure out how you're still alive." I've had 3 cardiologists tell me, "You really ought to let us put in a pacemaker defibrillator." That's the guy you want to call into the ring? I tell you what, Mark, I've heard that you said, let's put on the gloves and get in the ring. Here's what I'll say to that. Let's leave the fucking gloves out of it. I'll call your bluff. But let's leave the gloves off. Let's just go with tape. Because as I said, I am a congestive heart failure patient, which means if you last longer than 30 or 45 seconds, you might actually luck up and get a win. What that means for me is I got to work fast. And I'm going to beat your fucking ass in less than a minute. I'm going to call your fucking bluff.
Ruh-roh.
And you don't know where I live. And I never did publish your address, you lying piece of shit.
Oh, there it is.
If you'd like me to.
Oh, there's that Lady Dorkio. Man, I'm telling you, Lady Dorkio must have been up there too, because she's got some great tactic in that chat room. Oh, you're doxing me, you sons of bitches. You're getting doxed in, Scotty Kukarate's chat that worked with Mark Connors a long time ago, but now he pops up a few years back, right around, about a year after this, 2018-ish, pops up. I'm going to help with Mark Connors, right? Make sure you say Cruz or search Cruz. Good try.
Still have it written down right here. I've got it on this piece of paper. I can give your address out anytime I want to anybody I want.
Uh-oh.
And I haven't. But you're a lying piece of shit talking about I have, and then you thought you gave out my address.
Uh-oh.
Wrong, buddy. Once again, bullshit. Apparently.
Wow, you know, Scotty Kukerate and Urban Disciples like to be the first doxers, like Mark Connors. Kukerate likes to say, we're watching you, we're watching you. Same with Connors, we played it yesterday. We're watching you, we're watching you. Same type of pred shit. Having to tell people what to do, saying you got doxed first when you're the first doxer. Dumbass.
Intelligence gathering capabilities are pretty fucking weak.
Whoa, man. Oh, yeah, I
I'm going
agree.
on the road. I'm going to be on vacation for a week, and then immediately following my vacation, I've got a speaking engagement in Gettysburg. Then I've got another event to attend in New York City. And then I've got Fort Worth, Texas, at the Roy Rogers Coliseum, the 8th and 9th. Then I'm going to be in Vegas, actually in Vegas for the Bundy trial. The 15th through probably the 18th.
I didn't see
And then
him
I'm
there.
going to be working my way back home.
Must have missed
So
him.
during that time, Mark, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be preparing myself for our match. I should be home by the end of July. Tell you what, my wedding anniversary is August the 1st. Why don't we do it then? How about it? I don't even know what day it falls on, and I don't care. We'll film it live. It'll be the biggest audience you'll ever draw, Mark. And I'll knock you out less than a minute. Try to kick this head. Go ahead, kick this head. You may get 5 or 6 shots in before I get you. Let me warn you. I've fought some bigger motherfuckers than you. I ain't no bad son of a bitch. And it's been a long, long time since I threw hands. And I'll still guarantee you I'll beat your fucking ass in less than a minute. Less than a minute. You want to go? August 1st, Mark, call me. Ring me up. You've got my number. Call me. You people that are friends with him, you people that wanna ride Mark Connors' fake-ass country coattails. Guys, if he was such a country legend, where's his audience? And why does he need to try to build it off of me or Billy Sessions or anybody else? Because he's a fucking nobody.
Well,
Everything.
he's definitely got Bob and Scotty Kukerate working overtime for him, in my opinion. Oh, man.
He says is bullshit. Want me to kick it a little harder? Yeah, ring that bell a little bit harder. Doc. Here's the bell, buddy. Here's the bell.
Oh, yeah.
Call me up.
Oh, yeah, don't forget Eric Shillkerson in there, too. They're really working double, triple overtime to make sure people don't look up Mark Connors. Oh, man.
I'm calling your bluff. All you got to do is ring my phone and tell me what time on August the 1st. Give me an address to your dojo, and let's get it on, buddy.
Damn.
There you go.
Should be
Has
Santilli.
anybody ever heard of this asshole? Mark who? Exactly. Mark, the con man, nobody fucking the fake patriot Connors.
Damn.
I got people camping out. I got Marines camping out in my yard because Brother Doc knows where I live. You're fucking A right. I do know where you live, Mark.
Wow,
Yes.
and you would think, a big name like that with a lot of exposure, right? People Magazine, Country Magazine, so forth, right? His old crew that they apparently got rid of him once they found out, right? After the suicide LARP, that whole crew, right? You'd think that they would want to really put him on blast like this guy. No, they don't. For some reason, no. Don't talk about that guy.
Where you spend your time.
Don't
Keep
talk about
fucking
that
with
guy.
Me.
Don't talk about
You
that
want to
guy.
keep
No.
slandering me? You talked about slander. All I've done is insult you and tell the fucking truth.
Dang.
But you've slandered my name. You've defamed my character
Ah.
for over a week now because we caught on to your bullshit. Our intelligence gathering capabilities are a little bit stronger than yours.
Wow. You know, that's just amazing, right? Exactly. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. I wish I had more to say. Oh, man. Told you guys are going to make the news. Oh, jeez.